Hey, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Welcome in the building. I'm glad to see y'all all here hanging out with me on Hump Day. That's right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Glad to see you here. It's Trending Topics. And tonight's Trending Topics is called What a Fool. What a Fool. We got this high school graduation situation. Black guy, superintendent, guy that happened to be not black. His daughter was about to cross the stage and have to shake the black superintendent's hand. He leaped out of his seat, jumped up on the stage to push the man out the way so his daughter wouldn't be able to shake the man's hand. The daughter standing there looking like, what's going on? What happened? Is it really that serious? And I don't care what the backstory is. All I can say is, what a fool. You 2024, and this is what it comes down to. You should have kept your daughter home. Had her not attend the graduation. But you're going to sit there and have everybody else at that graduation. You're going to mess up their day, mess up their moment with your foolery. We're going to talk about it. Then we got another fool. And I don't like to talk about nobody mama, but the mama a fool too. See, y'all say it starts at home. You're right, Rebels, it starts at home. Sean Kingston, his issue started at home. Mama allegedly was a whole fraud before he was even born. In the womb, she was teaching him how to be a fraud, allegedly. So you got this fool at Spirit Airlines. He worked in a different store at the airlines. He allegedly stole somebody's luggage. But I don't even have an Apple phone. I ain't into Apple like that, but they do have some good features. Those Apple AirTags. She had an AirTag in her luggage, and her Apple Watch was in her luggage. And so Spirit Airline, they said, we're going to find your luggage. Don't worry. Well, she found her luggage herself. She said she was home, mind her business. Her watch, ping, 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 ping. She kept getting these pings that her watch was like 15 minutes away. And that was not the airline's address. So she was like, what's going on here? Now, I will say she was foolish because she went over to the house herself. Now, where they do that at? She could have got hurt. She lucky she didn't. She said she got to this house and all she saw in the garage and all of that was luggage after luggage after luggage after luggage. So this person allegedly has been stealing luggage from the airline probably for months or years or whatever. She called the po-po. Man got locked up. And because he did it at the airline, it's a felony or something like that. See, you a whole fool. Don't be you stealing luggage and could risk being 30 years in prison over some luggage. You have got to be dumb, stupid, or both. I cannot. So yeah, now he facing up to 30 years. She found her own luggage. And let me say this, y'all. Listen, don't get emotional. Spirit Airline is ghetto because they're going to say, oh, we gave her back her money as a courtesy. As a courtesy? As a courtesy? Y'all allow somebody to steal my luggage. Y'all told me, don't worry, I'm about to get my luggage. I had to find my own luggage, and you want to tell the news that it was a courtesy of you refunding my money. That was what? I wouldn't buy a Spirit Airline ticket if it was $23 for me to go from here to Africa. I'd be like, no, I'm good. Not doing it. No, I'm not. So that's the fool right there, Spirit Airline. Then we going to talk Trump. Y'all don't get all political on me. We're just going to have a story here, okay? So an ex-apprentice, a participant, remember his show, The Apprentice? And he would bring people in the boardroom. He talked to them. He didn't like what they said. He said, you know what? You're fired. That's what Trump did. That was the Apprentice. Well, one of the guys from The Apprentice said that Trump always was wild. And that we need to believe the man that he say he is. Okay? That's what this ex-apprentice said. He said back then on Apprentice, Donald Trump seemed a little racist. That's what the man said, not me. This ain't Diva. Okay. He also said back then on Apprentice, Trump was talking about grabbing the pom-poms. And although he was married, he was asking the female participants about their breasts and if it was real, telling them wear shortest dresses and show more cleavage. I don't know, because this thing really started before Diddy, I don't know if I should call this the Diddy blueprint or whatever, but over here, I'm naming it the Diddy blueprint. Even though it might have started before him, Diddy perfected that nasty thing and took it to a whole nother level. We did last night. What's that producer's name again? He was accused of doing some Diddy-like things. Trump, no different, allegedly. I don't know why people feel they could just disrespect women, why they could disrespect us. I don't get it. It's messy. The Dream. Thank you, Special K. That's why you're here. I love you. Yeah, The Dream. The Diddy blueprint. It involves substances of some sort, taking advantage of somebody, arming somebody, putting their hands on somebody, taking advantage of them. And then when they're done with them, they kick them out and spit them out. And think they could go on life and not pay for their dirty deeds. They say every dog has its day. And a lot of these men, their day is here. The day is now. Now listen, too bad we can't do watch parties on YouTube, because when 50 Cent put out that documentary, maybe 50 Cent will let us do a watch party, because that thing is going to be a mess. But we'll wait for it. Okay? The topic is called What a Fool. Now, you want to know the biggest fool out there? That man that went viral for driving without a license, appearing in virtual court, and then the judge told him, get your butt down here. How are you driving? You're coming to court because you have a suspended license and you sitting there driving. Then he came back loud and proud talking about he was vindicated because the records show that his license the suspension was lifted 2 years ago, but the clerks or something didn't do it right. Are y'all ready for this? Y'all not ready. You better buckle your seatbelts. That judge did a little more digging. The man never had a license in the first place. I said, I can't do this no more. I can't do this. Yeah, you're an old fool. I can't do this no more. I said, you got the lies. I had to watch it 3 times. I said, well, hold on. This man never had a license at all. Child, that's a whole different type of foolery right there. That is high level foolery. You calling the news loud and proud, talking about people made all kind of mistakes, and you got to double check behind these people. And at the end of the day, you never had a license to begin with. This man has got to be the person walking on the face. I cannot. Listen, y'all know I need to load this train up. I need to load the train up. So what do I need, people? Come on now. Thank you, Tay. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Wednesday night trending topics, and it's called What a Fool. We got the high school graduation. Very sad. You have this father. This is his daughter's moment. We all look forward to graduation. Graduate in high school, and your dad is going to be known for jumping up on the stage, pushing the superintendent out of the way. I can't. Spirit Airlines, you working for the airline. Not Spirit, you're working at the airport. Let me say that. You're working at the airport for another retail store in the airport, and you stealing. I will never understand the thief. Let me tell you this right here and right now. I will work 17 jobs before I go out there stealing. I'm not getting cleaned up. I'm not. I will work 17 jobs. I promise you that, but I'm not going to be out here stealing. No, I'm not. No. And then we got Trump. We got an ex-apprentice participant who said, believe Trump for who he is. He is who he is, and he's not going to change. So he's telling y'all, vote how y'all want to vote. But just know who you're voting for if you decide to vote for Trump. Let me go ahead and load this train up and bring the people in the building. Hey, Leo.
Hey, hey, hey. Choo,
Hey,
choo, choo.
Choo, choo, choo.
Hey, Diva. Hey, Leo.
Hey, E. Hey, Dadon. Hey, Wayne.
Hey,
Hello,
Diva.
y'all. Choo, choo,
Hey.
choo.
Hey, Savannah. Hey, Julius. Hey, Tay Tay.
Hey, panel.
Hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hey. Listen, we in the building. Let me share a screen. Let's do this update first. Let me see if I have this fool here because he a whole fool. Let me see. Okay, here we go. This one right here. You can't. Nobody could be this stupid. I promise you, it just don't even make sense.
For the man who went viral for driving during a virtual court hearing for a suspended license.
Corey Harris showed up in person at a Washtenaw County courthouse today, hoping to set the record straight and put this entire saga behind him. Instead, we're reporting on a brand new chapter.
7 News Detroit reporter Kimberly Craig has been keeping up with the twists and turns of this one. She was in court today as it all unfolded.
Well, nothing went the way Corey Harris thought it was going to go in court today. The judge started off by slamming Corey Harris, saying he's never even had a valid driver's license. And the afternoon ended with Harris going to jail.
The person that needed to be blamed is the person that he was staring at in the mirror. He didn't do what he should have done.
The judge came ready to set the record straight with Corey Harris, who has claimed that he thought the suspension on his driver's license was removed 2 years ago.
That court and its friend of the court did nothing wrong. His driving privileges were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. He didn't do it.
The judge said Harris never paid his clearance fees with the court or the Secretary of State to lift the suspension, but that's not all.
He has never had a Michigan license, ever.
We asked Harris yesterday if he ever had a valid driver's license. He claimed he didn't remember. Do you ever recall having one? Having a driver's license?
I knew I had a permit. I knew that.
A driver's permit, or?
I believe. I don't know. I can't say yes and I can't say no.
And that's odd because the Pittsfield Township police officer and prosecutor said during that October traffic stop, Corey Harris knew what was up.
At least twice during this traffic stop, he acknowledged to the officer that he did not have a valid license. Quote unquote, quote, actually, I don't have a valid license, close quote. The question was, are you a valid driver? Quote, I am not.
There was no error by anybody. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris to do certain things. Now, I grant you that sometimes that can be a complicated process, but it was certainly not anybody's fault that that didn't happen other than that wasn't paid.
Then came the unexpected.
He has a warrant for his arrest.
Corey Harris was taken into custody for what appears to be a 9-year-old bench warrant out of Allen Park.
So was I shocked? Absolutely. Did I want my client to walk in and then get escorted to the back? Absolutely not. That was not the plan.
The shocking thing about it, for a driving while license suspended, that he didn't take care of.
It should be something that a lesson for all of us. Handle your business. At the end of the day, handle your business.
In Ann Arbor, Kimberly Craig, 7 News Detroit.
Thank you, Kim. The
lawyer talking about handle your business, you got to the whole courtroom and didn't know before you got there that your client never had a license in the first place. So sis, I'm gonna need you to handle your business also. What a mess. What a fool. Now he's sitting there. He was all like, oh, mistake happened. Now he's confused, talking about, oh, I don't know. I can't say yes or no if I ever had a license or not. This whole fool. But that was just an update And there it is. He never had a license in the first place. Now, let me go ahead and roll on to our first story today. We might as well go ahead and get this on out the way. We're going to talk about Trump. We'll do that first, right? And so an ex-apprentice participant pretty much said, listen, Trump is who he say he is. And y'all can go ahead and vote for him. That's going to be your prerogative, but just know who you're voting for. He said it's all true. Ex-apprentice star Gene Folks calls Trump a monster and urges America to wake up ahead of election. That's his picture. That's Trump. Donald Trump may have fired Gene Folks from the boardroom in 2010, but he's still speaking about the behavior he allegedly witnessed during his time on The Apprentice. In an exclusive interview with RadarOnline.com, Folks, who competed during season 10 and now runs a successful podcast, The Folks Unfiltered. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pause this. Did not hold back.
Cooper, 49.
Did not hold back, telling us they created a monster and the world brought it. Despite signing a non-disclosure agreement prohibiting him from talking about what happened on the show, which is now up, Folks has been vocal about his interactions with Trump, who a decade after became the 45th president of the United States and will later be a convicted criminal running for a second term. According to the businessman, Trump had plenty to say about minorities, which allegedly stretched beyond grab them by the pee and the reported N-word. He used to describe the former Apprentice contestant Kwame Jackson. It's all true, Folks said, based on his experience with the "You're Fired" slogan man. Folks claim Trump repeatedly said disparaging comments about people of color, women, and immigrants. He warned the GOP frontrunner 77 is exactly what you see. I have no axe to grind with Trump, Folks explained, adding, we can do better than this when discussing who to put in office next. Folks told RadarOnline.com that he was excited when Trump poached him to be on the competition series as he admired his business sense. However, he quickly learned the old saying, be careful of your heroes. He addressed his run-ins with the former TV boss before telling the Associated Press that Trump would allegedly ogle at female contestants and reportedly encourage them to wear shorter dresses and show off more cleavage. Folks also claim that Trump, who was already married to Melania, routinely asked the contestants intimate questions about each other, even if they had spouses like him. If you didn't answer, he would dig in and say, do you think so-and-so is attracted? Would you sleep with her? Well, what about if you really had to? Would you? Folks told AP in 2016. It was so bizarre because he otherwise seemed so professional. He also alleged that Trump asked one of the women if their breast size, one of the women, their breast size at one point, said, are those real or natural? Folks told us the political party he registered to is irrelevant. This wasn't about being fired from the show he shared with RadarOnline.com as he urged America to wake up come election time. Hold on one second. Okay. As the outlet reported, Trump made United States history as the first ex-president and possibly incoming to be convicted felon after he was found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records to conceal $130K hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels in 2016. Trump pled not guilty to the charges, calling the criminal hush trial in federal court a witch hunt. He plans to appeal the conviction ahead of his sentencing on July 11. Trump's outlandish comments were documented before he beat Hillary Clinton in 2016 presidential election, when video showed him in the middle of what he called locker room talk with Billy Bush, as he vocally declared, and you were a star, and when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. The 2005 continued with Trump saying, grab them by the pee. You can do anything. All right, that's it. Ex-apprentice said, be careful who you vote for. Leo, you're up.
Okay, Diva. None of this is surprising to me. He has already, former President Trump has already been president. None of this behavior is surprising. It is already fully documented. Many things he said out his neck. And so if this is who people want to vote for, they have the opportunity to do so. They will have the opportunity to do so. He raised over $100 million after his conviction. So that says to me that folks do want him in. There are some folks that do want him in office, knowing full well who he is and what he stands for and what he represents. And so I appreciate his honesty, this man telling his own experience of dealing with him. But most people that do support him already know who he is fully and expect to get the policies and the issues that they support to be supported by the former president and soon to be the Republican nominee for the presidency.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. In my opinion, you're out.
This is what I expect out of him. This man doesn't have a moral compass at all. Anything that's moral, he will not do. And I do think that he wants to divide and conquer the world that we live in now. He wants to keep us divided and keep confusion. He thrives in confusion. I believe everything this man is saying. This is not the first person that has came off The Apprentice and has spoke on the bad treatment that they got doing that show. I just think it's sad that it took this long, and I think it's even worse that he could become president as a felon, but the felons can't vote.
Crazy. I appreciate you, in my opinion. E, you're up.
You know, the reason why the race card is not as shocking when people bring that up with Trump is because when you look at the other side, Biden has his problems with race relations as well. Neither of these candidates are a reflection of the best of what this country has to offer. However, we're too far down the road now where we have to make a choice, and one choice is clearly better than the other. In my opinion, it would be completely disastrous if the former twice impeached and convicted felon Donald John Trump was reelected into office, especially considering that he would be ineligible for a top security clearance, considering his criminal history. But again, this is not shocking. We heard all of this the first go round, and people still made the decision to vote for him, whatever their reasons were. But I am hoping that people will find the energy to not sit this one out, to not be just completely exhausted with being overwhelmed with the two poor choices that both parties have decided to put forth, and really make a decision to progress forward rather than take us a step backwards and cement us in further more bigotry and hatred. So that's my thoughts on that.
I appreciate you. Julius, you're up. Julius, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
This don't surprise me. He's been a fool ever since, and he's always been racist. I mean, his parents were high-ranking members of the KKK. There's a picture with both of them in the robes, you know, without the hoods, but the symbol's right there on the padding. Like, you know, but, you know, some folks, they love that. And, well, he's not my cup of tea. That's all I can say.
All right. Appreciate you. Savannah, you're up.
Well, we've always known who he is. He's never shied away from his true self. I've always questioned on his supporters and who they are, and why they have, it puzzles me why they don't recoil, or why they, this twice impeached former president who is facing 91 criminal counts, who has promised to unleash an authoritarian regime and assume the role of a dictator on day one, why they continue to support him. That's where I am puzzled on his supporters. But I've always believed him on who he is. I've never questioned his character or his morals or his beliefs. I've always known um, this person to be exactly who he is.
Thank you, Savannah. Wayne, you're up.
He's exactly who he is. And for, people, our ancestors, not ancestors, but family before us died just so they could have the right to vote. So for people who don't vote, and when the bull crap comes down the line, you can't say a thing. You can't open your mouth. In fact, people with me, if you talk and you haven't voted, you can't even have a conversation with me about politics. Because when you look at it like, okay, both of the men are elderly. They old. They're up there. But what else do we have? So do you want a dictator, an autocrat? Or even with Biden, even though the things you think he may not be doing, you want that. So which one do you want to live under? Do you want to live under where he can take the Social Security, a lot of the other freedoms and things we have? And when they say with their Project 25 that he's going to go into government, day one, and all the government workers that, I forgot what level government workers they are, but I think political appointees or whatever, you gone. I lived through it. 1981, I worked at Health and Human Services, and we were doing the White House Conference on Aging. And when Reagan won, that Friday, they called it Black Friday. They came in, Reagan's people, and all those high-level people, they were out the door. I'm talking about if you was the secretary of the director, you was gone. The only ones they didn't bother was like the clerks and things like that. So our job was good. But yeah, he came in and they got rid of him. So for the people who think that this is a joke, that, oh, he can't do this. Oh, he don't have the power to do this. He has the power to put people in places that will do it for him and that will answer his call. It's happening now. And it's not just happening, it's blatantly happening. The judge in Mar-a-Lago is walking him all the way out of a trial, and doesn't plan to ever have him held accountable for the documents case. She's walking it all the way through till there's no time. And if he gets in, and not only that, if he gets in office, all these cases, other than the one he was convicted of, going to be thrown out, because he's going to have his the attorney. What's the attorney that's supposed to be over the government? But he's going to instruct his attorney of the government to squash all those cases.
The attorney general.
The only one he won't be able to squash is the one in Georgia, because it's a state case, and they're going, if that even gets through. But it's no joke. And I think a lot of people say, I just don't think they're informed if they don't think it's that serious. This is so serious that you don't want to see that if he becomes, and we get the backlash, and black folks gonna catch hell. He already told them. when you arrest them and put them in the car, make sure you're not so easy with them. Just kind of throw them in there. If they hit their head, them. So this is a horrible individual. And I hate to say it, but if he strokes out before the election, I'll sip on a glass of wine. Because this man, he allowed almost 1 million people during the pandemic just because he thought masks were like a sign of whatever, you know, no mask, no none of that stuff. So while we were people dying like, you know, being unalive like flies in New York, bodies piled up in trailers. And in the beginning, when people was cut, they was gone. So if anybody is interested in having a leader like that will allow people to pass away, that he would encourage people and tell them, can't we use bleach? Can't you inject it in the veins? I hear it gets rid of it just like that. So we got this kind of imbecile up there that could spread this stuff. And yes, people did try to inject themselves with bleach. Yes, at the hospital, in the emergency rooms, yes, the call volume went up. Oh, how do I administer the bleach to myself? Okay, you want a man like this who can go in at pageants with little girls undressing because he's the owner of the pageant. He felt it's okay. How many in this chat or anywhere, how would you feel if you had a daughter that was in a pageant and she's 14, 13 years old and a grown man walking in on them, looking at him because he's the owner of the pageant? I can get away with it. I can do this. So this is, when you think about it, this is the person that could possibly get in office doing all these vile things. So if that's what you want, you might get what you want. But I will take Biden over him any day. He ain't perfect and ain't nobody perfect. And he's not trying to tell you he's perfect. But Trump is telling you exactly what he's going to do. They got a blueprint on day one. So when your rights are taken away, when you go into jail, when the cops got total immunity, if they beat your tail, they got total immunity. They'll have total immunity and won't have to answer to it. So if this is the U.S. that you want, don't vote.
Thank you, Wayne. Don, you're up.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be back in the house. Sometimes I wish Trump does get back in office because I talk to a lot of brown and black men specifically, and they think that it's going to be another payday for them. They think they're going to receive another $400 a month, another $600 a month, because Trump's name was on the check. They think free money is going to come to them again because Trump is in office. Sometimes I wish he does go back because it's going to be a rude awakening. We have to know what entitlements are. And the GOP, they are coming after all of the entitlements. They've already come after the woman's right to choose. It's now a state's issue. They're going to be taking away your Social Security, which means all of the money that you've worked for that have come out of your check for 30, 40, 50 years, you will no longer get because the Social Security fund is in debt. But they can reallocate that every year with the budget. But they want to take that away. They're going to take away food stamps, which affects more white people than it does black people, but you don't hear that part. So they're going to take that away. They're going to take away public housing, which means your cousins, your aunties, your grandmamas, your mammies, your dads, all of those people will have to find somewhere to live. So sometimes I do wish he come back in office because of the stupid things that I hear from the brown and black men specifically. They think Trump is this savior that's going to come in there and he's been indicted and he's just like me. I went to jail too. How dumb does that sound? You sound like a fool. And it bothers me when people say, I'm just going to vote third party. Third party candidates we need to start finding a third party candidate for 2028 now. For 2032 now. You just can't start 2 years and think a third party candidate is going to get a majority of the vote. It doesn't work like that. And when you vote third party, you're taken away from either the Democrat or the GOP nominee. Point blank, period. That's how it works. And the millennials who think that this RFK is coming in there when he has brain issues, literally has brain issues, he's coming in there and you're going to vote for him and he's going to make a change. Absolutely not. We also have to pay attention to down ballot votes. We have to pay attention to who's coming in to be your representative for your area, your senator, your state senators, your state house representatives. Pay attention to all of that. There are about 425 seats available in the House and about 43 seats available in the Senate this year. If we're not careful, it's going to be Republican president, Senate, and House. And we also have a Republican Supreme Court. Keep being stupid. Because the things that you all get and take for granted, they're going to be gone. Your mama is going to be on the street because I guarantee she doesn't have 401k. And y'all think it's a joke. Y'all think it's funny. The conversations that I have with brown and black men it bothers me, especially some of my Hispanic brothers. They want you gone. They want you out the country. And Hispanic men overwhelmingly vote Republican. I don't get it. This man is talking about doing a mass deportation on day one.
Millions.
And you're going to vote for him and go back to where you came from. If he gets in there and has the Senate and the House and the Supreme Court, guess what? He's going to be unstoppable. He already figured out how to run the government, his mistakes from his first term. When he comes back in office, he's going to put the right people to say yes to him. Marjorie Taylor Greene will be in his cabinet. But we laugh, we sit back, we think it's a joke. I'm going to vote third party. I ain't going to vote. Biden has his issues. He had a really bad crime bill in the 90s. But I would rather deal with someone who has other people thinking for him than a man to come up as a fondler who's been found guilty of that. A man to come up who's telling you who he is before he gets back in there. And we're still just saying, yes, make America great again. I want to ask Trump, when was America great?
Oh, God.
So, like I said, vote for who you want to, but take heed. The punishment that will come to your family members when you vote the way you want to. Be blessed.
Come on down, in my opinion. Choo choo.
You told it, Don. You told it.
Yeah, Tay, you up?
If this man be the president and he gonna turn us back where it was back in when our ancestors, those days right there, God's help us, this right here, and God help the miracles, because this is gonna be a bad news right here. And he being the president second time. Y'all better vote wisely and make the vote count. I'm talking to everybody in the panel, in the chat, in the whole world, because y'all better vote, because if you don't, this man gonna take everything that we work hard for anyway. And you wanna be in the street right here? You wanna live in the street with no car, no food, no shelter, no nothing, and you vote this man right here? All I say, y'all better vote. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you, Tay Tay. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, this man is a joke. He really and truly ridiculed black people. Look what he was peddling. Them shoes that look like Rocky fought in them on when he fought against that Russian. He out there in the Bronx with these two rappers that was when they was in prison. And then black people talking about, well, he let Lil Wayne and Kodak Black out. Yeah, after they paid him $2 million. Yeah, he let them out. You pay me $2 million, I'll let you out of prison too. So people are they're thinking that he's doing all these good things for these black people, letting them out, and he got a mug shot. So he's really ridiculing the black people because I've been in jail, I'm a felon or whatsoever. So you saying that only black people can be felons? Because really and truly, who's finna buy those tennis shoes? I guess some people bought them, but I know I wouldn't. But I'm just saying in general, you peddling into the stuff that you think that black people go for, like shoes and stuff like that. Ain't nobody fooled by you. You went bankrupt. Everybody talking about how good a businessman he is. A good businessman never go bankrupt. A good businessman know how to handle his business. And then you had Lindsey Graham and all them that was against him. So obviously, I believe he has something on them. Because as soon as they take the trip down to Mar-a-Lago, everybody's mind changes. They focus on him. I don't know if he got something on them or he making them promises or whatsoever. And then if he get back in there, he's only getting back in there for retaliation. He's not getting back in there to run this world. He's getting back in there to get back at the people that he feels that did him wrong. And then when a man doesn't like his mom, because his mom was a housekeeper, he had no pictures of his mom in the White House. But I guarantee you look behind him, he had a picture of his father. Your auntie don't like you. Your sister don't like you. They're talking bad about you. This man been this way. You got sued by the people that you stole this theme song, Money, Money, Money from. You stole that. You didn't even ask these people, can you even use that in your Apprentice show? So you got sued by them. So tell me what type of businessman that turn around and getting all these convictions, all these lawsuits, everything that he says is a lie. Because if he's opening his mouth, a lie is coming out of it. And if people fall for this stuff, then they're just idiots. Sorry if y'all are. I don't mean to call you an idiot, but you idiots. Because there's no possible way this man lie about how many people be at his rallies. They Photoshop those things. He's a big liar. He had people at his rally. Folks was walking away from him, but he had people at his rally having people thinking that he having thousands and thousands of people. And then when we seen the real picture of it, I said, what about 100, 200? But it wasn't 1,000 that they photoshopped in. So people need to realize this man is a liar. He's retaliate. The whole purpose of him getting into the office to retaliate. He's not thinking about the black people. He's not thinking about the brown people. The only people that he's thinking about is the people that's rich, that he can help elevate, and that he can put sanctions on the people that's below them. So if they want him in there, like the Don said, like I had told Wayne before, yeah, I wish he would get in there, because these people don't believe that salt comes from the ocean. They just crazy. I don't get it. What part y'all don't understand? This man is a menace. Everywhere he goes, he causes trouble. Every state he goes in, something happened when he leaves. He's crazy. But I digress. I'm done. Vote the way you want to. I can't change your mind. But the only thing is, I'm just going to let you know. If you do vote for him, you're making a big mistake. But that's your vote. That's all I got, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and roll right into the next story. The next story, you know what? I might as well do this story right behind the one we just did. Hold on one second. Let me just pull up. Okay, let's just go here. I think I'm able to show it from here. Okay. Okay, let me share screen. It's happened at a high school. Very sad. I feel for the daughter because this was her big day and the embarrassment that this thing is going to last forever in history. I will say after we watched it, the father backtracked and tried to say we didn't know what we was really seeing.
Oh, excuse me. Where's Brendan?
So that's the daughter right there. Get ready to come to the superintendent. That's the dad that moved him out the way.
Where's Brendan? Oh, excuse me. Where's Brendan?
So sad that at this age that something like that would even happen. Hold on, let me just make this screen smaller. Let's go through this article. So, class riot. The high school graduation erupts in chaos as a dad storms stage to stop daughter from shaking administrator's hand. A high school graduation was disrupted after the father assaulted a black superintendent for trying to shake his daughter's hand. The father of a graduate at Barable, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, high school in Wisconsin, rushed to the stage as his daughter was walking across to receive her diploma and forcefully pushed the district superintendent away from the ceremony as she approached him. The father appears to not have wanted his daughter to shake the hand of Rainey Briggs, a black man and superintendent of the district, which has caused an uproar online. In a disturbing video obtained by the local independent affiliate, the man whose name was not released by the police in order to protect the identity of the graduate can be heard saying, "That's my daughter, and I don't want her touching him." He was then removed from the school property by police and charged with disorderly conduct. The adult felt embroiled to behave in this way in front of hundreds of students and other adults should deeply trouble us all. This type of behavior will not be tolerated, the school said in a statement. No employee of the school district should fear for their physical safety when fulfilling their job duties on or at any other time. Everybody just make sure you're muted, please. Some of the comments on X, formerly Twitter, believe there may be more to the story, but it appears a majority of people agree this was a clear racist attack. Most sympathize with not just the superintendent Briggs, but the daughter too, many of which said she looked horrified after seeing what her father did. Disgusting. I feel terrible for the superintendent to experience this level of blatant racism, wrote one user. I actually feel sorry for the daughter, read one comment. You could see the happiness just drain from her face, said another. Most people like to suggest that Black people make everything about race, said Black history enthusiast and influencer, Colorful Story, in a reaction video of the incident. Here we are in 2024, where a white dad refuses to allow his daughter to shake the hand of a Black superintendent. Sad to see we still got to deal with this stuff in this day and age, read one comment. She also says she hopes Britt presses further charges, saying it needs to serve as a lesson to the racist bigots who still believe that they have power and the right to put their hands on Black people. Now, this town has a history. This incident happened at the same high school that garnered national headlines in 2018 for a group photo of the senior class throwing Nazi salutes in the air at prom. In fact, the high school has dealt with many incidents in the face of hate in recent years. From the posting of anti-Semitic flyers in the hallways to students making videos on the internet mocking teachers with anti-Semitic and anti-LGBT language and more. The police sheriff told the Wisconsin Examiner that his department has already had to investigate a handful of these incidents. There were students who immediately after the picture came out went around saying, "We are Barable proud," kind of implying that they're not against this, said Eva, a 15-year-old Jewish student at the time of the photo. There was an incident where a kid looked at me and he did the white supremacy symbol, and then he stood up and did some other thing, the guardian said in the aftermath of the photo. There's definitely a lot of racism in the school. This is also a lot of homophobia, she said, of her experience in the school. There's a certain portion of students who are very aware of these things and definitely call it out when they see it. But on the whole, I feel we are actually pretty desensitized to a lot of these topics because it's so natural for our generation to make that homophobic comment or that racist comment. She says the town even came to the boys' defense when some even comparing the backlash they were facing to surviving the Parkland powwowing or being SA victim, which did not sit well with her. I understand that they have gotten threats for their lives and they are a victim in that sense, and their whole futures are basically affected by this, but they got themselves into this, she said. The U.S. Sun reached out to the school district for further comment on the graduation incident, whether they believe race played a factor in the assault and other past occurrences reported at the school. Whew. It's unbelievable, but unfortunately, things like this still happen. Leo, what are your thoughts?
It's very unfortunate that things like this still happen, in my opinion, Diva. But I'm gonna say this real quick. I am still taken aback when I see the footage that this man will put his hands on this other man, right? You know, once again, where they do that at? Now I could see him moving his daughter out of position to not shake the man's hand. But you move a whole nother person out their space and with your hands, right? And there's some other footage that's the audio that where the superintendent say, bro, what you doing? You better get your hands off of me. So, you know, he was very lucky that he did not run into someone that was kind of like very suspicious on physical contact, or he might have got, you know, hands might have been laid back on him in return instantly. So I live in spaces where some folks feel like they can control others' bodies and spaces that they stand in, because, you know, I've dealt with that too, but it's been mostly words. No one has ever actually physically tried to move me from a space where they think that I was standing in the wrong place or I shouldn't be there, or I may have had to deal with words, but never someone physically putting their hands on me. And that takes me really aback. But we are in a time and place where these things happen. And I will say this, and then I'm going to get off the line. When the superintendent showed back up on stage, people supported him and clapped for him and was glad that he was back in the space and that he wasn't riding off in the police car because he done, you know, beat the man down to the ground, which
They
could
sure
have happened.
did. They sure did. I'm going to try to find that clip as we talk, but they sure did. In my opinion, you're up.
I think this shows another thing that has been amplified since 45 has been in there. Is that people have now decided that they're not going to hide behind their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like they're more adamant to put it out there, and they dare you to think it's wrong. When he incited that in riot, he incited the hearts of all those people that's been holding back all this time. This is what he does. He destroys everything. And I think this man is despicable to take away from your daughter's big day to do this. And then you end up in handcuffs. How stupid of you. But, you know, we can't tell people how not to treat us.
Yeah, I appreciate you in my
And
opinion.
I got one more thing, Diva, then I'm gonna get off the line. The permission system has changed, right? The permission system for public behavior and being able to show your bias and your prejudice is applauded when you do it openly, because of the time and the tenure that we are in now, where people will hide their prejudices. It is applauded to openly show how you really feel. And the permission structure of society and civility has changed.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Julius, you up?
This is the prime example and encouragement of the orange doofus. I see this here countless times. My cousin, when he was actually in office. Now check this story. Her and her husband was going to a store. Someone was behind them. They didn't like that they was going the speed limit in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the person yells, "Go back to your country." We all know that saying, right?
Wow.
Come to find out, that person that said that knew my cousin's husband from work. And my cousin looked at her husband after they was going into the store, because he was like, "Babe, what's wrong?" And she said, "Babe, that was the guy that told us to go back to our country." Her husband turned to look, like, "Oh, okay, I got you now." And this is here in good old Massachusetts, the most racist state in the North. See, it's bold in the South, but it's on the low in the North. That's the difference. But this is all encouraged by the orange doofus.
Thank you. Don, you're up. Okay, we lost the Don. Tay, you're up.
I feel bad for the daughter, Diva, because she feel embarrassing. Human Major, you get what I'm saying, Diva. And then you won't let him to shake your daughter hand because this right here. Where is the security? Because school supposedly has security at that school just in case they had incident like that right there. If I tell you my story about my school, is that okay, Diva?
Yes.
For graduation?
Uh-huh.
So, Diva, at my graduation, right, we had security too over there at my graduation because they had to escort the people. You can't hear people their child name. That's why. And you make noise, you still gonna get escort too. And that's how it is right there at my graduation high school right there. I just feel bad for this sissy, this guy right here who got pushed by this girl father. It don't make no sense right there. Because, dude, you are a fool. You embarrass your daughter, the whole front of people right there. I hope he get charged, Diva.
Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you so much, Tay. I appreciate you. Okay. Julius, I came to you already, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, E, you're up.
All right. So since Felicia is not here, I will go ahead and say it. Hold on. I just was on the shade room. The superintendent just filed for a protective order against his father, Matthew Eady. That just came out 20 minutes ago. So he is going to press charges, and I am happy about it. But since Felicia is not here, because what I also had up on my screen was the school stats, because that's Felicia's thing. Yes, in case you wonder, this is a poor performing school. Diva has already said it's filled with homophobic racists. And 1.6% of the student body is Black, but 77% of the student body is white. 47% of those students are women, and not women, girls, and 53% are boys. So these are our future white male leaders in Wisconsin, raising hell at Baraboo High. Not only are they homophobes and racist, but they aren't smart either. They have class sizes of 13 students per teacher, but their math proficiency is 24% and their reading proficiency is 35%. So these
Wow.
kids can't read and they damn sure can't count, but their graduation rate at Baraboo High is 95%. So yes, this is a failing school where they don't count and they can't read, but they can talk about people and put their hands on folks. So I do want to say one thing, and I want to piggyback off of Julius. Whenever we are nearing an election season, especially when Donald John Trump is anywhere in the mix, we start seeing more and more of these people come out without their hoods on, okay? And they demonstrate unwarranted vitriol and unprovoked violence towards Black people. And it's filmed more and more, and it circulates on purpose. And I feel it serves as a humiliation ritual or tactic. And that's just my opinion. Similar to Marjorie Taylor and Jasmine Crockett, these people say and do these things to Black people on camera, on purpose, and it's on trend. And I feel like it's a signal to others that it is time to rise up. So beware. That father's name is Matthew Eddy. And if he was truly upset, because the initial statement was that he was upset about bullying, that his kid was being bullied in school. And by the way, Matthew did not even allow. See, this is my thing. If it was truly about the bullying, then why did he even allow her to attend the graduation, sit amongst her peers, the same people who were quote unquote bullying her, and then shake the hands of the assistant principal and the principal? What's the difference between that assistant principal and the principal on stage compared to the superintendent? I'll let you tell me what the difference is, because y'all say I talk too much color around here. But be clear, if this was truly about bullying, his frustrations are out of sequence here. When bullying occurs in school, the first person you should be reaching out to as the parent is to the teacher to get some clarity about what's going on here. And then the chain of command goes to the admin, aka the assistant principal, and then next stop the principal. And after that, then we can kick up some steam to the superintendent. And if you are really wanting to get feisty with the system, you were already at the school. Why didn't you address the kids who were allegedly bullying her? Weren't they there? Because it's 95% graduation rate. Weren't the parents there of those kids? Ain't nothing but time, space, and opportunity. So let's take it to the source. If you ask me, if that's truly what it was all about.
Right.
But again, if Matthew was upset, you do know there is a trend in this country where kids are being transferred out of school at least 2 weeks before the last day, and they're walking across the stage somewhere else. You know that, right? You can't do that in college, but you can do that in elementary, middle, and high school. That is a fact. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Students will be in class from August until April. And then the first week of May, you get a note from the office saying the student is moving and their last day is Friday. So what I am saying is, if you are that invested in protesting, because that was the word used in the initial story, this was he was trying to protest his daughter from shaking that man's hand because he didn't solve the problem with bullying. Take the protest all the way and protest the entire county. Get your kid out of there. Again, Matthew says he did this because his daughter was being bullied. But from what I saw on the video you just played, his child's biggest op is him. Matthew was the only one who embarrassed his daughter on her big day. And for all I know, Matthew is the main culprit as to why the other kids are teasing her and giving her a hard time. All roads lead back to home, his bad behavior.
Well, boom, you said it, E. Thank you very much. Katrina, you're up. Katrina, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Diva. I agree with E. I agree with everybody. If you know for a fact that the superintendent was going to be there, and if you had a problem with that superintendent, you should have asked for your daughter to just receive her certificate in the mail. If you didn't want your daughter shaking this man's hand, that was ridiculous. I'm quite sure she's embarrassed, and they have went viral. So everywhere she go, even if she's not a racist, people are going to contend that she is because who her dad is. But sometimes they go in a different direction. She might end up marrying somebody black. I don't know. But what I'm just saying is, because when somebody tell you can't have something, that's when you want it more. Hopefully, this won't leave a blemish on her, but we don't think so because it's all over. It went viral, so everybody knows what happened, and he should be in jail. Like I said, you went up there, you waited for this man, for her to touch this man, and you did that. You shouldn't have even let her came. Or if you felt like something like that, you should have stayed at home yourself so you wouldn't have seen it. But like I said, I just hope she have a better life than what she got right now, because her father is not a good role model. I don't know the man, but anybody doing that in front of you, in front of your students, in front of your peers, that's not a good example of a parent. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you, Katrina. Wayne, you're up.
Can you hear me, Diva?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. I think it's sad that this is going to be her remembrance of her graduation.
Yeah.
Everything else is overshadowed. That's all.
I appreciate you. Dadon, you're up.
So in 2024, we need to know, E said, the hoods are off. Okay. They are throwing up Aryan Nation signs everywhere. They are throwing up Klan signs everywhere. Okay. These people are emboldened to act like this. They think they're not going to get in trouble because of who their leader is. He's never gotten in trouble until now. So they think that they can go and act and perform and do everything that they can because of the color of their skin, and they're more powerful than everyone else. We have to be real with ourselves. January 6th just didn't happen because they were mad about the election. It happened because 98% of those people were white people that were upset about the brown population. And Trump had gassed them up that there is going to be a takeover. That's what they've been hearing in their dark rooms, on Fox News, on all of these other networks. That's what they're hearing, that there's going to be a minority takeover. They're mad, they're upset because they're no longer going to be in the majority. They're no longer going to be in control of the company, of the country come 20, 30 years from now. It's going to be a minority takeover. So they're performing. They want to get rid of us. Let me say that again. They want to get rid of us. So you can join in with the coalition. You can do whatever you want to do and say whatever you want to say and vote however you want to vote. Go into some of those dark rooms that have been exposed. They say all of it. Go on Twitter. They say all of it. They say it out loud. We're just too ignorant to believe them. We have to start believing them. Go to some of these school boards. Look at some of the school board meetings on YouTube that these people are doing. Anytime that you're bold enough to take a book out of the library because it's speaking about color and slavery, you think they're not going to do this on stage?
Wow.
Point blank period. This man didn't want his daughter shaking a black man's hand.
Wow.
She was okay shaking the three previous people's hands until it got to him. It wasn't about bullying. It was about the color of his skin. Point blank period.
Whew. I appreciate you, Dadon. This is a mess. This is a hot mess. We're going to go ahead and roll into our last story. I don't know what it is with these people that want to steal. And I don't know why they did not get the memo. Let me just share the story because tonight's been a lot. Hold on one second. Let me just
A Spirit Airlines passenger whose luggage was stolen took matters into her own hands and tracked it down to a house in Fort Lauderdale.
Now an airport employee is under arrest and charged with grand theft. Is this all part of a larger theft ring, though? Local 10 investigator Jeff Weinstein is on the case.
I need my computer because I go to university, so I need my computer no matter what.
Paola Garcia stood at Carousel 4 inside Terminal 4 at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International, watching fellow passengers receive their luggage.
And I've been waiting there for at least 2 hours.
Garcia tells us she always carries on board her pink hardshell suitcase. It fits in the overhead. But she says for some reason this time, Spirit employees forced her to check it. The suitcase never hit this conveyor belt. That's because as she was waiting, according to an arrest affidavit and pictures, 29-year-old Junior Bazile apparently had her pink hard shell suitcase in the back of an airport retail store where he worked. Pictures show him rummaging through it, her MacBook, 2 watches, an iPad, jewelry, designer clothes, all taken. And back at the terminal and unaware, Spirit told Garcia not to worry.
We send you luggage to your house. So I give my address to Spirit.
But the next morning, her Apple Watch is sending a signal, but not from the airport.
You're at home and your watch is pinging at a house in Fort Lauderdale.
15 minutes from the airport.
So you decide to go to this house.
Yes, because I said, how is Spirit move my suitcase there?
The Apple Watch is signal coming from this house at 1017 Northwest 11th Court.
So you pull up to the house and you see luggage and suitcases all over the place outside?
Everywhere, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
She dialed 911.
The first things I remember the police told me is like, what are you doing here? This is so dangerous for you to be here.
A Broward Sheriff's detective put that house address into an internal database here at the airport and found that Junior Bazile worked here for a company that operates retail stores. And he was working that day. These pictures were obtained through an investigation. Bazile had already gotten rid of the items when he was arrested and charged with grand theft.
How are you?
We went to that house to talk to Bazile.
You know he was stealing luggage from the airport for people's luggage?
My daughter told me that. He never told me that.
He wasn't home. We had a pleasant, cordial, 7-minute plus conversation with his mother, who never asked us to leave and answered all of our questions.
Because the police come in here, they don't find nothing in my house.
But when we told her at one point Garcia's Apple Watch was pinging from inside of her house, this happened.
That was coming from your house.
Stop! I told you, if you don't want to go to jail with me.
She yanks the ID right off my neck and then claims that I hit her.
Yes, put me in the camera. Put me in the camera. Put me in the camera.
Police looked at the video.
That's the proof you come to stop me.
They got me my ID back and no charges were filed.
You stop?
Days later, Junior Bazile was in court for a status on that grand theft charge.
I think we have a right to ask you. You're stealing passengers' luggage?
Go away, sir.
Nothing to say to the lady whose stuff you took?
Go away.
In a statement to Local 10 News, Spirit Airlines said, quote, "We issued a reimbursement check to the guest as a courtesy, even though we are not currently aware of any evidence that any Spirit employee was involved." Reimbursed as a courtesy? An airport spokesperson said passenger bags checked in with an airline are under that carrier's care and responsibility. A spokesperson for Parody Shops, where Bazile worked, had no comment. Is this part of a bigger ring?
I think it's a group working in the airport. One person no can do that. They just take baths.
The police reports don't say how Bazile got his hands on the suitcase. Broward Sheriff's Office says this is still under investigation. Jeff Weinstein, Local 10 News.
First of all, hold on, let me stop this. First of all, was that was the news reporter was bold? Because he just stood there, he didn't back down, he didn't get scared. If you fly Spirit, you better fly on your own, because they're going to talk about we gave her back her money as a courtesy. Excuse me, You know this man stole my suitcase, and you talking about it's a courtesy. This thing is a whole hot mess, and his mother was out of control. Leo, your thoughts?
Spirit Airline. Spirit Airline. They charge you to breathe on the airline. And now what they're not doing is taking responsibility for this crook that they had within them within their realm, that he did not work for Spirit, but he worked in conjunction with Spirit for a whole nother company. So now they trying to say, okay, so we gave her money back as a courtesy. And I will say that, fly at your own risk, girl. And I will say this now, mamas, Miss Mamas, now, for you to go down there and hut down where your bag was at, girl, you took a risk on its own, because pow could have happened. Nobody wouldn't have known why you was there, and this story could have been a whole nother thing. Miss Mamas, you girl.
She took
I
a risk.
tell you what,
I wouldn't have went there. I wouldn't have did that, but
I wouldn't have done that either. I wouldn't have done. I'd have met the police there, but I wouldn't have went there all on my own.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have went there all on my own. And you know what though, you fly at your own risk, like the comment said. Dealing with Spirit Airlines, you better have not just the Spirit, but the Holy Ghost, because they do not give a darn whatsoever about what you got going on in your luggage. She had all these valuables there too, and people is ciphering through the luggage and stealing the daggone luggage. His whole garage was filled up with people's things, and then the mama want to jump on somebody because the things and the items, other folks' belongings, was found at the house.
Child.
I can't.
I cannot. And she knows she was benefiting from that stuff he was stealing. All these random suitcases are in your yard, then you don't know what's going on. Lady, please. In my opinion, you're up.
He learned it from the mama though. She the one that peeped him on game. We've been saying that, right? We've been saying that all week. Learned it from the mama.
We have.
I'm glad Spirit Airlines does not exist here in Alabama. I don't never have to worry about it. Listen here, I think it is really terrible that this person had to find theirs from an air tag. And the fact that Spirit Airlines said we gave you this as a courtesy, like they did something important. Sir, ma'am, I want my stuff, okay? I don't want your check. You can't compensate me for my stuff. I want my stuff. I just don't like this.
Brown Eyes, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks, in my opinion. Tay, you're up.
The mama knew that he been stealing. She knew what he was doing. And this how the parents have to teach their kids what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Wrong is to steal somebody's stuff that ain't belong to you. Right is to return that people's stuff right back where it belonged to the owner. And now I feel for that guy who interviewed that mama when she yanked him, and then think he's attacking her. Woman, you went cuckoo puff. That's what he is right there. And then when he interviewed the son, he told that dude, leave him alone. I'll weigh my opinion. I don't want the money. I want my stuff back that I work hard for. I don't want it. Matter of fact, if I was that girl, I would press charge that dude anyway in the first place. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Julius, you're up.
I would have pressed charges on the mama, the fool, the big dummy, and big dummy Spirit Airlines. All three would be going down. All three. You willingly let this person take my luggage and other people's things. Now let's take into account there are elderly people that do fly. So we're talking about their medications and stuff like that that they may not be able to take on their carry-on. So they put it in their suitcase. Things like that. And you willingly let this fool take it. Nah. All three entities are going down. Spirit Airlines, the big dummy, and the mama. All three.
Yeah. You know what? He worked for the airport. That's why the girl saying it's a group of people doing this. He worked for the airport and he worked at a store in the airport. So that's why she's saying, how did he get her luggage in the first place? So she's thinking somebody in baggage claim is helping him. And I believe that. Somebody in baggage claim is probably deciding what bag they're going to take. They somehow get it to him and then they're going from there. Because how did he just go down there and get that? I don't think her bag ever hit the conveyor belt. I think somebody took it up front and then gave it to him. E, you're up.
Sounds like Sean Kingston and P. Diddy, mama, if you ask me. All of that ooh-ah and ooh-ah, like somebody was trying to peek down her dress. Girl, you knew what was up. You're the lady of the house. You sit out there on that porch every day watching the comings and goings in the neighborhood. For all I know, you were out there waiting for another truck to pull up in the driveway with some other people's, with some other people's bags, you know? We saw it on the video. All of those missing bags just out there in the open. Yeah, the mother knew about it. It's her house. So the mother needs to be locked up too. With Sean Kingston's mother, with all the other bad guys. Blah, blah, blah. So uneducated. The audacity of her to lie and play dumb and accuse the man of trying to attack her when it's all on film. I need to know, did the mom go to Baraboo High too? Did she go to the same school that we just talked about? Because the other interesting part for me is that the airport says they cannot locate any footage of the man coming in contact with the bag. Well, obviously, it's an inside job.
Right.
Obviously, it's conspiracy. It's a whole ring around here. So who does he go to lunch with? Does he have any relatives who work there? Is he dating anyone? Check his phone records. Because when money is involved, all of the dots will come together. Somebody knows something because there's no way you can move all that heavy luggage and nobody has seen a thing. And as for that payola, you did good, girl. I would have done the same thing. When I come through the airport, it's air tags on all me and my baby's luggage. Where you at? It's a revolution coming up. And we need more soldiers in the field like this payola. I'm proud of this girl.
I appreciate you, E. Thank you so much. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah. Both of them are some dumb scammers. Why would you leave all the luggage outside anyway? If you stealing and doing all that type of stuff, shouldn't you put the stuff in a place so that nobody can come up there and see it? And then the mom sitting on the porch acting all innocent. So that man said about that Apple Watch. Then she went crazy and then tried to lie and said the man hit her. So she a scammer already. And then the thing of it is, I'm not flying. That's a nigga say Spirit because I'm not going to become one. And the other thing is, Delta is no better. They'll steal your luggage too because they have a store where they take everybody's luggage that they have down there in Scottsboro, Alabama. In case y'all want to know where he located, Delta Airlines has a store, a salvage house down there in Scottsboro where they're stealing your luggage. And the thing of it is, I don't know if you remember the story. Remember that people had stole all that Louis Vuitton stuff?
Yes.
So you know they know what's coming in. You know it's a ring of them. So it ain't just one person doing it. It takes more than one to get the stuff up out there. So people have to be smart. And the thing was, like Leo said, I looked at Spirit things when I did want to fly, but then I was thinking to myself, they charge you for baggage coming up. You can't do no carry-on. The carry-on, that's a charge too. No, they charge you for everything with them little hard seats. So there's no way that I would ever ride Spirit because I'm not going to become a Spirit. Thank God. I hope not. And you just have to watch your luggage because I'm telling you, they will steal your luggage and take it down to those savage houses. So just be aware, y'all. That's all I got.
Diva.
Yes.
You know, I want to ask Katrina. You know, Katrina, I fly Delta. I've never had an experience like that. I've never been missing my luggage. So I just in case somebody's watching who can give me some extra points, you know, those opinions do not necessarily reflect those of E.
Well,
You're so crazy.
it's not E, but I'm gonna tell you, Delta would do it too. And I'm telling you right now, they have a storage house down there in Scottsboro, Alabama, where they take people luggage. Because the reason why I know they take people luggage there, because they took mine. So the man told me that the man told me, he said, go check that store down in Scottsboro. So I know they steal luggage, and that's Delta, and that's the only thing that I normally fly when I leave and go to Washington, Maryland, Arkansas, wherever I'm going. That's what they put us on, is Delta. So yes, just be careful, because they are people out there that will steal your luggage. Just like I was telling you about the people that stole the Louis Vuitton, all them purses and all that type of stuff. They stole pretty close to over $1 million worth of stuff off this airline. So what I'm saying is, just be careful.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay, Wayne, you're up. Let's go to Wayne. Wayne, you're up.
Yeah. Well, I'm retired from a major airline, and I work luggage service a lot.
Okay.
And the airline is responsible for their luggage, even after it comes off the belt, after TSA has gone through it. If anything is missing, you can file a claim, and the airline will reimburse you. Okay, and for Spirit to just offer a ticket, I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, we compensate people, if their luggage was delayed or lost, we give them something extra, but to give a ticket, I flew Spirit one time because I said, okay, I want non-rev. That means flying on the airline for free, because Spirit was going where I wanted to go, where it's cheap. I will never fly on Spirit. Y'all saw Soul Plane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Them seats was like sitting in a lawn chair for 2 hours. I couldn't believe it. It was the most uncomfortable ride I've ever had. I mean, they were thin, but it's a budget airline, so what can you expect? So I wasn't expecting a lot, but I sure wasn't expecting to sit for 2 hours in a seat that's like a quarter of an inch thick. Felt like. But yeah, that's just that wasn't right. And obviously this lady, because a lot of times people say, well, why'd you put this in your luggage? Well, she put it in her luggage because she was carry-on. And that's what you do. All your valuable stuff, you put in the carry. And the last thing you want to do is have your stuff grabbed at the gate, because now you don't have time to get all your valuables out.
Right.
And yeah, she was a trooper going to look for that luggage, but that was dangerous.
Very extremely dangerous.
That was very dangerous. And it was it Miami?
I don't know if they mentioned it, but
Florida. But
she did say Florida. She did say Florida. So yeah, either way, it was very dangerous.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. I mean, she should have gone there at the time with an officer or something, But it's crazy, and he needs this, gets fined or something. It needs a lawsuit needs to be brought against him, because once he left that property, he's no longer a Spirit.
He's facing 30 years in jail.
Huh?
He's facing 30 years.
Oh, I think that's excessive, but you shouldn't took nothing.
Well, you messing with an airport, right? And it becomes a felony. So you mess around and you finding out.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Choo choo.
There you go, boom. So I believe even when you fight in the airport, so you gotta, don't be a fool.
I'm not saying he shouldn't be punished. Don't get me wrong. I just feel
I know you're not. I know you're not. Yeah, it's up to 30 years he could face. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, if he doesn't have no record or nothing, he may not.
Well, we don't know, because listen, all of that luggage sitting in his mother's house yard. Come on, that's not their luggage.
Oh, and of course she knew that.
I'm getting the trolls now with this Trump thing. Oh God.
Her pockets was getting lined. Her pockets was getting lined too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Wayne. Don, you're up.
Listen, for those of you that don't like Apple, listen, AirTags are the way to go, and you may want to reconsider. They're $3 for $99 at Target most of the time, $3 for $99 at the Apple Store. You can get them online. I have an AirTag in my car, my daughter's car. Okay. She has a keychain AirTag. I have one on my keychain. Traveling, luggage, everything. AirTag, everything. It pops up right on your phone, on your MacBook, on your iPad, where your belongings are, just in case something like this happens. I can't even put my knees on a Spirit flight. So I don't even, all 6'5" of me just won't fit. So I don't even know how people get on those little tiny chairs. Um, I'm on my way to Delta Diamond. I'm a gold member now, and I try not to fly anything else. I know all airlines go through. Yes, choo choo. I know all airlines go through their mess, but I have never had an issue with Delta
Okay.
ever. And prayerfully, I won't. But this guy is in some major trouble. Like you said, Diva, this happened at an airport. This wasn't the Amtrak or the Greyhound. This was at the airport. And they can give him 50 years as far as I'm concerned. We need to set a standard for these people to stop stealing other people's belongings. If you are that desperate to go to get another job, get a third job or a fourth job if you don't have the things that you want. But for you just to go steal people's luggage and then go through them, and then you're so stupid you have the evidence sitting on your front porch. That's so dumb to me. That tells you he wasn't the mastermind behind it, because the mastermind would have got rid of the evidence, but you got it sitting right on your front porch. So I think it is a ring happening in that airport.
Yep.
And if they offer him a reduced sentence, maybe he'll tell who's actually in charge.
Come on now.
Because it's sad that you can't even check your luggage and it shows up with you. Carry-ons are best. Make sure it's small enough to get in the cabinet. But this, and she should not have gone to that house by
No,
herself.
no. Or her
I
little
would have.
tiny self.
Yeah, no. I would have, at least called the non-emergency number down there and let them know, listen, I'm outside. My luggage is here at this address and I need some assistance.
Yep.
It's just that simple. Don't walk up to some stranger you don't know. You don't know what they have in their homes, what, combat ready. So, just be careful. That was stupid.
That was.
But,
And that mother was
AirTag
on ready.
everything.
And that mother was on ready. And you are right.
Oh, yeah.
AirTag everything. I'm about to AirTag my luggage. I don't have an iPhone, but my son does. I'm gonna AirTag my luggage when we go on vacation. But
they have AirTags for Androids as well. So I've seen the link, Diva.
Oh shoot! Come on now, you better talk to the people about the Androids, okay? In my opinion, boom. Okay, so yeah, but she did a very dangerous and scary thing. God was with her, cause honey, that could have been okay. I gotta hurry up, y'all, cause I'm getting these Trump trolls coming into my thing and acting a fool. But I'm gonna.
That's 6, Steve-O. That's 6.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and run real quick because they're not going to stop. I want to show my feel-good story. So let me just show this story real quick. And then I hope I didn't click out of it. Oh, I did not. Okay.
And now to my one-on-one conversation with Dion von Furstenberg, the fashion designer icon, is opening up about her life. The brand new documentary entitled Dion von Furstenberg, Woman in Charge. And she certainly is. I had a chance to sit down with her to talk about her career, family, legacy, and of course, the famous wrap dress celebrating 50 years.
The adventure of my own life has been incredible.
She's the legendary designer known as DVF.
I became the woman I wanted to be.
Now sharing an in-depth look at her extraordinary life and legacy in a new documentary, Dion von Furstenberg, Woman in Charge.
I don't think there's any life that's a boring life. I think every life is interesting if you pay attention to it. Having said that, I've had a very big life.
That big life, filmed in detail over the course of a year. I loved how it opened, you in the bathroom, literally climbing in the sink.
I do that.
Looking at yourself in the mirror.
If you take all your wrinkles away, You know, the map of your life is different. I don't really want to erase anything from my life. I am 77 years old. I've learned a lot, you know, and the way I lived, I should have been 300. Instead of asking people how old you are, you should say, how many years have you lived? Then you take the age as a sense of pride, which is what it should be.
She was born in Belgium in 1946, 18 months after her mother, Lily, survived the Holocaust. Your mother, she is present throughout the documentary as she was in your life.
I was a miracle. She used to say, God saved me so that I can give you life. By giving you life, you gave me my life back. You are my torch of freedom.
That determination, learned early on, helping build her confidence to break through the fashion industry with the wrap dress, revolutionizing women's wardrobes.
So let me tell you the secret of the wrap dress. The fabric. Silk jersey, knit, indestructible. Okay, indestructible, but feels very nice. It molds your body. I used to resent, why does the wrap dress always, you know, come after my name? I created the wrap dress, but really it's the wrap dress that created me.
DVF found success early on in fashion and in high society. As wife to a German prince, Egon von Furstenberg, they had 2 children. Their lives were fast and quite public.
We all had many lovers. David Bowie and Mick Jagger, that's a great story. I was having a man's life in a woman's body. Yes, God, yes.
You did not shy away from discussing the many loves that you've had in your life.
I was married to a very young, attractive man who was very promiscuous. I wasn't going to be a victim. I wasn't going to be, you know, the jealous wife. And I navigated the best I could. I had many lovers in my life, and I am very happy I had every one of them. That's for sure.
By her side today, her love of more than 48 years, media mogul Barry Diller.
He always remained the presence in my life. We always knew that one day we would be married. And we have an extraordinary relationship.
And through the Diller von Furstenberg Family Foundation, she's dedicating this season of her life to uplifting the next generation of women, passing on her lessons learned.
What I have discovered lately is that kindness is a currency, and generosity is the best investment.
Everybody always wants to talk about legacy when we all reach a certain stage. And of course, you talk about your children being the legacy, but can we also say your foundation?
My legacy is many things. It's first and foremost my family, obviously, and I'm very proud of that. My legacy is the body of work, and then there is the foundation. And the most important thing is the people that you have touched. I am very happy to say that I'm the designer who makes uniforms for the women in charge.
She is absolutely fascinating. She also spoke about the decision to open up about her life in a way that she hasn't before. And she wasn't entirely comfortable with it originally because she had pitched a documentary series focused on some of the incredible women she has highlighted through her foundation, but networks kept pushing to hear her story. So ultimately, she agreed to do it because she hopes to use her story to inspire others. And she shared her biggest lesson learned. She said, be true to yourself. If you're true to yourself, you are free. And she is somebody who is truly.
That is clear.
That is so clear.
And I agree, very fascinating.
She is. I've known her a long time. DVF, Dion von Furstenberg, Woman in Charge, is out June 25th on Hulu. It is fantastic. And you can see more of our conversation tonight on Nightline.
Whew. How many years have you lived? Right? Not how old you are, but how many years have you lived? Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all for being here. Sometimes we got to have these tough conversations, and boy, are they tough, right? It was a lot, but we have to have the discussions, and I'm glad that y'all hang out with me and we have these discussions, and everybody is respectful of the different opinions that come out when we have these discussions. Listen, guys, I'm going to get out of here. The Trumpsters are losing their mind, okay? Losing their mind, okay? But anyway, guys, thanks for being here. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button going out. I'll see you next time. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Do not cheat the devouring